As you guys know, the new WATA case is just released, so it's time to get them in my hands. Today's video is going to be the full package. We're going to give a full examination of the 3 games I'm sending out to get graded, give my guesses on those grades, do a grade reveal, and then a full review of the new WATA cases. There's no time to spare, so say thank you to every single patron who helps support the channel, as well as the YouTube members. I can't do this without you guys. Hit the like button, and let's start by looking at the games that I'm going to be sending. We have a sealed copy of Budokai 2 on PlayStation 2, a factory sealed Perfect Dark for N64, and a complete in-box first print Legend of Zelda on NES. So starting off with the Budokai 2, a game so disrespected that they didn't even include it in the Budokai HD collection. Seriously, they just put number 1 and number 3 on it and acted like 2 didn't exist. So obviously DVD style grading is going to be different than it is for cardboard, so you really have to look under direct light for any kind of dings or divots to the case itself. Going over the front, there's really nothing for me to mention. Obviously there's some scratching and scarring present, there's even a small hole up here, but all of that isn't going to affect the box or case grade. On the back, there are these 2 little snags or bumps. They don't seem like they're actual holes or rips. I'm not really sure what they are. I don't know how WATA's gonna treat those. If they didn't exist, I probably would have said a 9.6 for the case grade, but with those, I'll have to say 9.4. And with all of this scratching, scarring, you add in that hole, it's gotta be an A seal rating, right? Give me a 9.4 A on this one. Now, the Perfect Dark was bought years ago by me, and I'm pretty sure it's a case fresh copy. It has that case fresh shine to it. If you guys don't know, Perfect Dark is one of the most common, most available factory sealed N64 games. So anyways, you guys can see the front of the box here and just how clean it is. There's really nothing for me to mention. On the back, it's basically the same. At this point, I'm just looking for anything that would keep it from getting a 9.8 A++. There is a very small scratch here on this side of the game. There's also this very tiny crease on the side of the flap. On the other flap, you might be able to see it in the light reflection here. There's like a very small bend, a very small, I don't even want to call it a crease, but you can see that the light kind of reflects downwards. It's possible it's been pushed in very slightly from having some weight put on it. Given everything here, my official guess is gonna have to be 9.6 A++. But really, I'm hoping for the 9.8 here. And the final game I'm sending is my complete in-box first print Legend of Zelda, which is definitely the most interesting game here. Now, CIB grading is much more involved because obviously every single piece gets its own grade. So starting off with the box, overall it's really clean, especially for a first print Zelda, but there are some obvious wear spots. Almost every corner has a little bit of whitening, a little bit of wear to it. These 2 corners actually have pretty obvious bumps to them. On the opening flap, there's quite a bit of fuzziness and color loss to the side here, as well as some wear all along the top edge. The front and back faces of the box also have minor scuffing, minor scratches, but nothing major. Overall, I'm hoping it gets an 8.5. The manual's pretty cool because I actually had this professionally pressed a few years ago. It almost flattened it out completely and made it look pretty crisp. It does, however, still have scratches and scuffs throughout. That's the type of damage that there's nothing you can do to repair it. On the spine, right by the staple, there's also this very small rip. That's probably going to be the worst spot on the manual overall. I'm guessing the manual could be an 8. I really hope it's not worse than an 8. And lastly, the cartridge is also quite nice. There's some small gold flaking, which is super common on these gold painted cartridges, especially in the corners, which is where the cartridge has most of its issues. The back of the cart also has some obvious scratches you can see in the light reflection. Those are definitely going to hurt the grade. The label only has very minor scratches and scuffs, so that should be pretty good. I'm guessing the cartridge will be an 8.5. I'm hoping for the 9.0 on it. For the overall grade, I think this CIB is going to get an 8.5. Like I said, it's pretty nice overall. So now that you saw all the details, let's get these things packaged up. I love to use these $1 box protectors for my games. Some people prefer not to. I've heard people saying there could be risk of damage or scuffing, scratching, whatever. I've never had any issues myself, so I continue to use them. Make sure to bubble wrap everything for safety. I always double box for extra protection. And off they go to WATA games. Today is May 10th and they're being sent via Warp Zone from Canada. We'll see just how fast WATA can get this done. It is now the 24th of May and you can see the games are done grading. We've entered the post-grading stage of the order. And the crazy thing is that these arrived on the 24th and they also got graded the exact same day. So that's awesome. This is a Warp Zone order which regularly costs $175 per game and takes 5 business days, or 5 business days is the estimate anyway. Obviously, I would never choose this premium tier on my own. I don't even really recommend it unless you have some super reason to do this. But WATA did chuck a discount. We are finally getting some content creator perks out here, so hey, I appreciate the expedited service. We are not looking at the grades until they are back and unboxed. And now we have to see how long will it sit in post-grading. I've heard post-grading is taking a lot longer than the actual grading itself. We'll see how long this takes. The WATA Games package has arrived. So it was at WATA from May 24th to June 2nd, meaning it shipped out on the 8th business day, which is pretty close to what it says on their website. I am genuinely excited and am genuinely nervous for this. Like, I really want to like this new WATA case. So, I mean, let's just start here. Slice into this thing. Come on up here. We should be able to just rip it. Oh yeah. And depending on how these do, I actually think I am going to sell all 3 of these. That's kind of my tentative plan right now anyway. We'll start off with the Dragon Ball Z Budokai. I'm just gonna get it out of this bag quick. Try and not look at it while I do this. Like this, I shouldn't see it. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. So I checked my notes and it's a 9.4A that I wrote down for the guess on this one. And yeah, 100%. In my hands, this feels a lot lighter. But the grade on the Budokai 2 is 9.6A. Wow, okay. That's fantastic. Great start to this show. Man, just looking at the new case, I am a huge fan. It's just so much more sleek and form-fitted than the old WATA cases. So remember, this one did have that damage on the back and it had a lot of scratches, scrapes on it, and even had that small rip. You can have a lot wrong with your game and still get what seems like a really high grade. But anyways, that's the first game down there. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 2. Very cool. Next up will be Perfect Dark on N64. Remember, we were looking for basically a perfect grade on this one. Let me just get it out of the bag again here. Let me just get this Budokai out of the way here. So like I said, basically looking for a perfect grade on this and, what? Oh my god. Okay, I want to show you guys exactly what I can see on the back here. Oh my god, I missed fading on the Perfect Dark. Now I have no idea what to think. The actual guess was a 9.6A++. If it even gets a 9.0, I guess I'm happy. The actual grade on Perfect Dark is... Yeah, it even got the A++ seal rating. Come on. It says it's on the spine, so I'm guessing it's on either one of these short sides. I'm still unsure of what side it might be. Maybe this side is the fading. It looks like it's a little bit lighter there on that orange box, but it could also be this side. Maybe the N64 logo's a little bit lighter down there. It's crazy how much issue I have had with fading in the past couple of years. I swear to God, I have had more faded games in the past 2 years than I have had in the past like 10 years combined. And I've only dealt with like 5 faded games in that time, so it's not even that many, but like, oh my god. Fading aside, I think we can all agree that this case looks much better for an N64 game. The old WATA case was an absolute abomination for N64 and SNES, I'm sorry. But we have one more game left and we're looking for a big bounce back now after that. Legend of Zelda Complete Inbox First Print. Fingers are crossed I didn't miss something. Just get it out of here. So there we go, folks. Very nice TM Zelda. The crazy thing is this is actually my undercopy. My personal collection copy, I still need to get it graded, and it is nicer than this one. So my guess on this one is 8.5, and if it hits, I am extremely excited about my personal copy. Looking for a big redemption on this one. The actual grade on the Zelda is... Let's go! Oh my god. Oh, that actually hurt my elbow there. Jesus. So we got the 8.5 overall on the Zelda. And if you guys don't know, CIB games are now green over here. And if you don't opt for the CIB Plus option, which is like another 50 bucks, it just says matching components on the label. For the subgrades, we are looking at an 8.5 box, 8.0 cartridge, and an 8.5 manual, which is almost perfect to my guesses. Actually, I am a bit surprised the manual was still an 8.5, even with what was wrong with it. I'm not gonna lie, this feels absolutely awesome, especially after this just happened. But let's actually compare these cases to the new cases now, and I'll give you guys my full overall thoughts. So in case you guys forgot, here is what the old WATA case looks like for a DVD style game. And then here is the new one on Budokai 2. Like I said, it's way more slim, it's way more form-fitted. Just overall, especially for these DVD RPG style games, I think this is a big improvement. You can see on the two labels here, nothing really changes. I mean, maybe the information is a little bit more clear here, a little bit more kept together. One thing about the labels is that this label is like a gray-white, while put side by side, the old label almost has like a yellow hue to it. It's weird, and it's something I never really noticed before until I had these two cases side by side. Here are the back of the labels. This thing right here is completely gone now because they just got rid of the matrix system. It never went up and it's never going to be here. Assumedly, this new barcode here is going to be a lookup system eventually, but we'll see whenever that launches. But the new label doesn't have the date that it was graded or the submission number right on it, so that is a little bit annoying. Here is the actual side by side, new case versus the old case. Again, you can see just how much empty space is now removed with the new case. There's what it looks like on the side. One thing that I do wish is that the new case, again, we lost the grade here on the side. I do really like that this is on the old case. That's definitely a bad thing about the new case. Here is old versus new for N64 games. Again, you can see just how much extra space is gone now for the new case versus the old one. Putting them both sideways, I mean, I think it's a massive, massive overall improvement for N64 especially. The biggest negative thing that I noticed about these cases, and it was a little bit on all three of the games I got, is that the inner blisters have quite a bit of scuffing on them. It's kind of hard to capture in the camera, but you can see going up the side here, there's scuffs in the blister. It's even more noticeable on the back here. If I just put the light in this spot, you can see just how much scuffing and scratching there is in the blister. The case itself is made out of polycarbonate, so it's not supposed to scratch, which is why I'm assuming this is all in the inside blister. It's not a huge thing, but I did want to mention it because this Zelda here, right? This is $1,000, more than $1,000, and when we're talking about games of that value, you just don't really want there to be scuffing and stuff that's going to take away from the overall appeal of the game itself. Overall, I think it's a massive improvement. Hit the like button before you go, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.